little bit of a different environment today because I have school today. I would have been going to school over the past few episodes, except for the fact that we were remote. So now you guys get to see the car, and you guys get to see more car time lapses. And I have a test today, so I got to pick up a brand new calculator for that. So that will be fun. Workout's done for today, we'll play that. And I'll probably record my way to school and back. And yeah. Play the music, cue the music.
Ey, dicen que el mundo va a acabarse, ojalá que sea pronto. A veces picheo y me hago el tonto. ¿Quién puñeta dijo que yo quiero ser ejemplo? Todo lo bueno que hago lo hago porque lo siento y está cabrón. Wow, ya voy pa' 30, Rolex y AP, yo no sé pa' qué. Si el tiempo pasa y no me doy ni cuenta, haciendo chavo mientras tú comentas, pero nadie sabe, no, lo que se siente, ey. Sentirse solo con 100,000 personas al frente. Que de ti hable toda la gente sin saber un bicho, sin conocerte. Y hasta te deseen la muerte, pero yo no, yo les deseo buena suerte. Sí, ajá. Ey, la gente tiene que dejar de ser tan estúpida y pensar que conocen la vida de los famosos. O que mucho poca, que mucho baboso y me levanto.
So I just finished QuickBooks for the day, 89% to 91%. This is a pretty long module. I'm gonna go home right now. I'm going to work on TMTG. I'm gonna try and do the balance sheets, or the balance sheet, period. And then dinner, and then after dinner I'll try and work on my college stuff. I probably won't record the college stuff, but yeah. Took my math test today, it went pretty good. Hopefully I got a high A, and yeah. Time lapse.
No ha llegado, demasiado enfocado. Tú no conoces a Bad Bunny, tú solo te has retratado. Ey, soy el caballo ganador, voy adelante por 20 cuerpos. Ey, ey. Y sin decir mi nombre, tú conoces mi voz. Dime quién era el mejor que ya se me olvidó. Desde que yo estoy es un orgullo ser el 2, el que nunca se quitó, pues nunca perdió. No me echa.
I hope you guys liked the change of environments today. I'm sure it gets boring seeing my boring room every day. So it's good to go back to school. And before I get into what I have, the few notes that I have written down, I went to school and I got there early, so I'm roaming around the College of Engineering and Technology, and I find this like open workshop area, and I think to myself, what's this? And the door's kind of closed, it's barely cracked, and I look at the time, I'm like, oh, I have like 15-20 minutes before class starts, so let's check this place out. And mind you that where that workshop was, on the other side of that building, on the lower level, is where the garage is for the Baja Rally team. And so I kind of had that in the back of my mind. So I thought to myself, okay, well, let's go in here and take a look around. So, and mind you, I'm wearing flip-flops and my swim trunks and a t-shirt. The least appropriate wear for a workshop, but I didn't know that going forward, so whatever. I walk in there and there's a computer to sign in. I look around, scan the area, skill that I learned from being a lifeguard, and I see a bunch of machinery in the back. So I think to myself, oh, shoot, this is kind of cool. And I look at the computer, I sign in, I have to swipe my card, fill my name in, I say like what I'm there for. I try and just pick the most broad answers because I just want to look around. And so I sign in, and I start to walk in, and this guy approaches me and he says, I don't even remember what he said now that I think about it. But I told him, I said, hey, I'm just here to look around. Is that okay? And he says, yeah, that's cool, but because you're wearing those flip-flops, you have to stay on this side of the building and not on the machinery side, because you can't have open-toe footwear on that side. So I say, okay, cool. And the side that I was on looked like the machinery side to me. Like, I should stop saying like. Don't say like, don't say like. No like, no Be better. And I start looking around, and there's a bunch of cool stuff, and I get really impressed. And so look around, do a quick few laps, and I start to leave, and there's a schedule, and it says summer events or something like that, summer events 2024. So I look at the schedule, and they're doing welding workshops every single Monday. And they have workshops that are actually after my calculus class. And I think, oh, that's pretty cool. And for those of you guys that don't know, if I had infinite money and infinite time, most likely what I would be doing is I'd buy a warehouse, buy every tool known to man, buy tons of parts, and learn how to weld, learn how to use CAD software, and I would probably start by building a go-kart, and then I would try and build something that's more off-roady, like a side-by-side. I would try and build a trophy truck. I would try and build my own street-legal car and make custom body panels. That's probably what I would end up doing, because I love building shit. And I love driving shit, so that's kind of the combination. So I think, oh, well, you know what? I could spend an hour or two and learn how to weld. That couldn't hurt, so maybe I'll do that. Anyways, back to the notes. So I did the rough draft for TMTG's balance sheet. The balance sheet that I went off of was an unaudited balance sheet from their Q1 2024 earnings report, and it was unaudited, and I start looking through it, and it looks pretty good. They had, 270 million of assets, and 240 million of that was cash equivalents. I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's pretty good. And then total liabilities were 60 million. So I was impressed. And then I go and I look at stockholders' equity, and it's negative 290 million. Let's see. Negative 270 million. And I think, oh, that's not how it adds up. It's supposed to be equity equals assets minus liabilities. So it should be a positive shareholder equity. But it wasn't. It was negative. And then I kept looking into it, and it's an unaudited balance sheet. So they're not using the typical balance sheet template that I'm used to. And they had some funny stuff in there with the shares and how many shares there were, and sells and buys of shares and things of that nature that I felt pretty shaky with. But they came out to a negative shareholder equity figure. And I was thinking, damn, that's not cool. So, anyways, but what do you expect? That's from Stemple CPAs or whoever the guys are that do their accounting. And I will write about those guys in my paper. And I also looked into the college stuff. For the insurance waiver, I have to wait to do that. For the immunization records, we're working on that. I have to go to my old doctor, but fortunately, I haven't been to the doctor in like 5 years, since 2019. because I'm healthy, so I'm thankful for that. But sometimes in these cases, it doesn't help me because I have no idea about any of that stuff. But my mom called, and we're gonna get that figured out. We're gonna go pick it up, and then we're gonna be able to type it all into the computer. For the classes, for Calculus 2, that's kind of shaky because they overlap, and UCSB needs my transcripts for my grade in Calculus 1 before I take Calculus 2, but they overlap, so I won't have that transcript, so that's not looking good. I emailed the Transfer Edge guy, and we'll see what he says. And also, loans. So I can get a loan for my school and not have to pay for it out of pocket. And if I do that, then the money that I don't pay out of pocket for the school, I can invest. And in one of the previous episodes, I already showed you what the figures would look like if I bet my tuition compared to if I didn't bet my tuition. And I don't remember what the difference was. I think it was like $140,000. So I am struggling with that right now. What do you do in this situation? Do you believe in something? And I had a talk with my mom about it, and she told me, don't gamble this money for school. Use it for school. Don't be a dumbass. And the way she was kind of saying it, she was like, you have a gambling addiction. And I was really taken back when she said that. I was really taken back. And I think to myself, what the fuck more do I need to do to show that? To show you that I'm serious about this shit. And it kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of hurt. To devalue all the work that you put in. It's not cool. But I understand her position. Moms want to limit your downside risk. My mom doesn't want to see me with a bunch of debt when I graduate. But also, by limiting your downside risk, you limit your upside risk. Right? That's how risk works. So I understand her position 100%. I know that it's technically the responsible thing to do. But I just have too much conviction. Rivian was up 6% today. They had a bunch of random ass headlines from some interview that RJ did with Rudders saying, oh, we're going to make our cars are going to have a positive gross profit, which is what they've been saying for a long time. And somehow this interview with Rudders comes out and the stock's up 6%, as if this is new news when it's not new news. It was just posted across multiple headlines and people think it's new. So yeah, the R2 platform just made a new record for production trucks at Pikes Peak, which is really great. And that Gen 2 platform is good. I see the differences, and it's more clear to see Rivian's path to gross profitability. Net profitability is a whole nother milestone, but their gross profitability. And once they announce that headline, hey, we make a profit on every single one of our vehicles, they're gonna have a big boost in their share price. And I, for one, do not want to be waiting on the sidelines, sitting on my thumbs when that happens. And then from that moment forward, I don't see them hitting the levels that they're at currently. And it's a matter of, they'll fluctuate, and then it'll be a matter of time until they release the R2 platform. and that's going to generate a ton of hype. And then it's going to be R3 after that. And somewhere along that time, there's going to be another euphoric cycle where all these companies, all the growth companies, we will get insane valuations, and that is when I will make my exit. But it kind of sucks. Your mom doesn't believe in you. She says you have a gambling addiction. Yeah. Maybe she's right and I don't see it. Maybe I'll lose a shitload of money. And maybe she'll be right. I don't think so. I mean, if I did think so, then I wouldn't be doing it, right? So. But when people are greedy, be fearful. And when people are fearful, be greedy. And in this household, it's a lot of fear. But boy, will it feel good if I am right. And I'll tell you a secret. I recorded the conversation with my mom. Part of it. I recorded part of the conversation with my mom. So, if and when the bets pay off, I'm going to post those conversations. That's going to be... No other investor has recorded conversations with their mom doubting them. So, yeah. Crazy world. Anyways, what do we have planned for tomorrow? Not much. Okay. Good night.